Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama. Hey, good morning, everybody. Where are you guys? I don't see you up in the batter box yet. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari. Okay. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari Hari, Hari Rama Hari Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Krishna. Okay, I put the link on my timeline in case anybody wants to come on. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 sit still there, you little loud mouth. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare. There you go. Krishna, I wasn't talking to you. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Where two or more are gathered in his name, there he shall be, and she. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Protected from within and without. This is perfect. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Jesus Srila Prabhupada Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jesus Srila Prabhupada Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Shivasari, Gora, Bhaktivinoda, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Shivasari, Gora, Bhaktivinoda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari Krishna, Krishna, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hari 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Rama, Rama Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Krishna, Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari Hari Rama, Rama Hari Hari Krishna, 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Chananda, Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shri Advaita, Sri Vasadi, Gora, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jesus, 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 Jesus,
Rama Rama Hare Krishna.
Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, Jesus. Srila Prabhupada, Jesus. Jesus. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shri Advaita. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Advaita. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, Sri Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Whoa, Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama Rama Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Krishna
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 Hari
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama Hare
Hari
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Hare Ram Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama Hari 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 Krishna
Ram
Hari
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
Krishna Hari Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
Rama Hari Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna
Krishna
Hari Krishna 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 Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama
Ram Hare Ram
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hari
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare Ram Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama Hari Hari Hari
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hari
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Ram Hare
Hari
Ram
Rama
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Ram Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari Rama Hari
Ram Ram
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama Hari Krishna
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama,
Shiva,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Hari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Rama,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare
Shri
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna, Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya Shri
Krishna,
Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Chaitanya
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Shri
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya
Rama
Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Chaitanya
Rama,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Shri
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Shri Krishna
Hare Rama,
Chaitanya, Shri
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Shri Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama, Hare
Rama Rama,
Shri
Hare
Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda,
Jaya
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 Shri Chaitanya, Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda, Jaya Shri
Jaya Sri Advaita
Jaya
Chandra, Jaya
Gaura
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda.
Jaya
Jaya
Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya
Jaya Jaya Nityananda,
Jaya
Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
All right. So, talks between Ramananda Roy and Lord Chaitanya. Exciting. Isn't this going to be exciting? So this is starting with text number text number 18. Sri Ramananda Roy then saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be as brilliant as 100 suns. The Lord was covered by saffron garment. He was large in body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like lotus petals. When Ramananda Roy saw the wonderful sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. He went to him and immediately offered his respectful obeisances, falling down flat like a rod. The Lord stood up and asked Ramananda Roy to arise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Arise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very eager to embrace him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then inquired whether he was Ramananda Roy, and he replied, "Yes, I am your very lowly servant, and I belong to the Sudra community." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Roy very firmly. Indeed, both the master, both the master and the servant almost lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. Yeah. Their natural love for each other was awakened in them both, and they embraced and fell to the ground. Their natural love for each other was awakened in them both, and they embraced and fell to the ground. Whoops. Yeah. The natural love for each other. Yeah, this is what it's about, man. Natural love. Natural. It was natural. Okay? Natural. Actually, it's supernatural. Natural is if you have love for, natural for the love for, gold and women and men and, whatever your taste is in this world, movies. See, natural. This is natural for human beings. Whatever is before our face, is like so naturally you bond with it very easily. It's like glue. And it's bonded. See, but this natural love for Lord Chaitanya, between an associate is very special, very unique. And it fills one with the greatest happiness that you can't get. See, it's all about rasa. It's all about taste. You can get this perverted taste, which is it's insignificant. It's material, keeps us in this world, keeps us in the in bondage to birth and death and old age and disease. Or we can get this taste for this bond, this natural love for the transcendental form of God. That's why Jesus Christ came here. The devotees, they associated with him, and they gradually began to develop love and attraction and devotion for Jesus. See, and that's how they got out. It's always the same way. When Lord Ram was here, these monkeys, the Lord wanted to reclaim whoever would become his servant. See, servant of the transcendental form of the Lord. That's what it's about. What do you think we're doing chanting Hare Krishna? We're becoming a servant of the transcendental form of the Lord by his name. His name is non-different than himself. When we develop natural love for that name, okay, and we're filled with bliss when we're chanting, that's what it is. That's the zone, man. That's an associate of the Lord. Look at all the associates we're making here. People don't even understand. Could you imagine? Because you have to find the golden goose. See, it's all about that, isn't it? The golden goose makes gold. See? Same thing with devotees. If a person has truly genuine natural love for Krishna and they're a touchstone, you come into their association and you really yearn for that. That's what you're going to get. Your natural love for God will awaken in their association, because that's the only reason they're here for. They're here to relish, and they have to live. You have to eat bread, right? You can't without eating food. You cannot live. Well, devotees without their food is this relationship with the transcendental form, serving that relationship. That's their life. And the only practical, easy way, without any whole lot of troubles, is to associate with those who already have natural love for the Lord. And then you develop your natural love for the Lord very quickly. Well, first it awakens and then it develops in sadhu sangha. In where two or more are gathered in the name of Lord Chaitanya, Jesus, Prabhupada, and all these transcendental associates, there they shall be in the midst of us. See? So, that's what it's all about, and yeah, that's the path. That's why Jesus said, when he said, you know the way now, Philip. Philip's looking around. See, they didn't have the Spirit. See this, so therefore they couldn't understand, have it explained externally from their guru. And so Jesus said, I'm the way. See, I'm the truth. I'm the life. See, that's the devotee. When you see a devotee, they're going to tell you the truth, because the Lord, they have this intimate transcendental relationship. They know more than anybody. They know more than the smartest persons in the world. They know more of the essence of what's really important. What do you think, this Elon Musk guy, he knows all this knowledge and everything, is really that important? What is this? No, knowledge of how to, he doesn't have knowledge how to end the cycle of birth and death. Does he? No. These guys, really intelligent, matter how materially intelligent you are. Doesn't matter how big a scholar you are, in the Vedas even. Yeah, if you don't have this natural relationship with the Lord, which fills you with ecstatic devotion, you can't liberate anybody from birth and death. Matter of fact, you can't get free yourself. And you see people, they respect that now. They worship that. That's like when Jesus was here, they were worshiping the Pharisees. Oh, you get us into the kingdom of God. And they were thinking, yes, we can do it. Just believe everybody has an opinion, but they didn't have the opinion, man. They didn't have God's opinion. Jesus did. He was, because of his intimacy with the Lord, he was conclusive. He had the right opinion. And they didn't. He had the opinion, which is actually Krishna, is non-different from his opinion. See, in the beginning was the Word was with God. See, and the Word was God. See, the Word was with God. Even if you're a guru, even though the guru never says, I'm God, that's God, because that word is with God. And the Lord says, hey, man, this is my devotee, and I am him. See, I come in the form of my devotee. That's one of my forms. If anybody has any problem with this conclusion, read Caitanya Charitamrita. First chapter of Adi Lila. The Lord comes as the guru. What is the difference between conclusive truth, which is Krishna, and conclusive truth spoken by the devotee? See, simultaneously one and different. See, different in the sense the devotee has a nature. I'm eternally a devotee. See, but the same, because that word, the Lord says, this is my word coming through. See, the Lord eats through the mouth of his mouth of Brahmins, but even more so through the Vaishnav. Who the deliverer of even Brahmins like that. Amazing, huh? Okay. This is, you have faith in like that. When you see the Lord as the spiritual master and as the Vaishnavas, the real Vaishnava, the Lord comes as his devotees. They're simultaneously one and different. They all have their natures. Advaita has his nature. Srivas has his nature. Gadadhar has his nature. All the devotees have their nature as either devotees or plenary portions or the Supreme Lord himself. They're eternally who they are. Yeah. So that's a simple truth. See? This is real intelligence. All this other stuff, all this material intelligence is bamboozles people who don't know the spiritual potency. They don't. That's why the Lord comes here. That's why the devotees are here. That's why they come here. And when they really have a relationship, a natural relationship with the transcendental form of the Lord, and are filled with that bliss, they're empowered to deliver others. Nobody else can know the Father. Only the Son, only the intimate friend, only the intimate servant, transcendentally intimate, only the intimate maintainer, only the intimate beloved of the transcendental Lord knows that Lord and can deliver the unspeculative version of the Lord, the Supreme Lord that delivers people. That word of God is God, and it delivers people who hear it. Okay? Otherwise, you're not delivered. You hear all this speculation from persons who have not realized the Lord. And the whole world, practically 99.9% of the Vaishnavas are worshiping living gurus and sannyasis and Brahmins who don't really know Krishna. That's how it is. Okay, oh yeah, they give respect and honor. They believe in Prabhupada, right? Well, he's gone, right? Well, he's not gone, not for a real devotee. He's in his name. He's in his books. He lives forever in his books. But if you say, yeah, I know all about Prabhupada, and you're worshiping a guru who hasn't realized Krishna, you're neophyte prostitute. That's all you are. Really, prostitute. Oh, you say you believe in eternally liberated souls, but you're worshiping in this life persons who are not eternally liberated? What kind of bullshit is that? Yeah, what is this? This is what people are doing here, and this is why they're not delivered. This is why they don't have ecstatic devotion. This is why they remain on the neophyte Vaidhi Bhakti platform. They mix an eternally liberated soul like Prabhupada with the God brothers, that if Prabhupada said these persons are neophyte, if you don't believe it and you're worshiping them, what kind of faith do you have in Prabhupada? What kind of faith? Come on, man. Who do you have faith in? God brothers or Prabhupada's opinion? Prabhupada's opinion is God's opinion. Okay? This is hypocrisy. Oh, I believe in Prabhupada. See, no one can get over this hypocrisy. That's why you need shiksha. You need to find the person empowered by the disciplical succession now in 2021 coming up soon. And get this stuff straight. Get clear on these subject matters. You don't mix non-liberated, non-devotees with no pure love of God with eternally liberated associates like Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vinod. They're in our line, yes or no? Then no, they have to have the same symptoms to be in the real line and to be an acharya or head of the line. Otherwise, what we got is what usually goes on, and that's why our line is a shiksha line. Shiksha line means, okay, it's not always in Diksha because Prabhupada had many disciples and most of them are mundane. If you don't believe that, you're a fool. Most of them have not made it to the transcendental platform. And if you take initiation from them thinking you're in the parampara, then you're foolish. You think that's the Diksha parampara. You're like those many Radhakund Babajis believe that. That means that you're not conclusive. No, Bhakti Siddhanta was conclusive. He said, Shiksha parampara. Person has to have the symptoms of being in the line. They have to, if they have the symptoms of Lord Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta, which was ecstatic devotion of the variety of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas all the way down the line to Lord Caitanya. They laugh, they cry, they choke up, they have very deep, intimate, transcendental feelings for Radha and Krishna and Lord Caitanya. You don't got that, man. You aren't in the line yet. Better come in the line. Better find out where the head of the line is. Their head is popping up and speaking to you. And if you don't listen, you die in false prestige, and your followers fall in the darkness with you because you don't know what is light. You got to hear. You got to prove that you know what is light in this world. You got to prove that you know what Krishna's real form is in this world. If you come and you say, "Oh, I don't like this ecstasy that you guys are doing in your worship. Oh, I don't like that." Oh, really? You don't like Krishna because he's that. Isn't he? Isn't he ecstatic bliss? That means he's given himself to a devotee, and you can see through that devotee on the person of that, on the temple of that devotee, the true nature of the Lord, the ecstatic bliss of God. He's chit knowledge. He's the essence of truth. You hear that from the mouth of a person who is really associated with the transcendental Lord. They're his herald. And those who listen, those who believe in the word spoken by the devotee will also be like them, filled with bliss when you chant the transcendental name of the Lord. Otherwise, there's no other way. You got to go through the gate. You got to go through the door. You got to get purified by hearing the words that emanate from the mouth of the empowered representative of Lord Caitanya and Radha and Krishna. Otherwise, you're not getting in. You're just a bullshitter still. You're still a hypocrite. Oh, I worship Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada, in the line, gives a man an order and manifests his successor, real success, not a person saying, I'm a successor of Prabhupada. Oh, he's an successor. Yeah, did you get ecstatic devotion? Because that's the next stage. That's proof that you're a real successor, that you're progressive. You're not just coming in and, oh yeah, Prabhupada gave me a bunch of rules, and we just continue giving rules and regular. That's the real line. No, the real line is progressive, man. Because it is. Because it's ordered already. You prove you want to be a successor, well, have you brought people not just from like the material consciousness to Vaidhi consciousness? No. Now, have you brought them down up from Vaidhi bhakti up to spontaneous devotional service? Have you been ordered to do that? Have you been empowered to do that? And that's proof that that's where the real line is. If you can't do that, you can like confuse, and you can mislead neophytes. But those who are hungry after this, hungry after spontaneous devotional service that they may have read about in a book, you got to go to the right place for that, the right dispensary, and then you can get it. Otherwise, you're just neophyte. You can't take the truth. No, you'll go on worshiping non-liberated souls, not even knowing what those qualifications are. See, you come here, you'll learn what is the qualification of a liberated soul. What is the qualification of the head of a parampara? I found nobody is teaching that because they're not heads, because they're not really transcendentally associated with the Lord. If they are, they'll recognize his preaching. and what I see, most people are afraid to approach here. I haven't even memorized the verse. Why can't any of these gurus come here and approach here? Why? I haven't memorized the verse. They should be able to defeat this understanding easily. But they don't. And they won't, because if they get exposed, the darkness is exposed, and then they will be liberated because they'll be like ashamed. And their disciples will be ashamed. Okay? But hey, man, what do they say? There's an old saying: first humiliation and then humility. And if you're not ready to be, found out, then you'll hide in this darkness of inconclusiveness. That's what it is. If you're hiding in darkness of inconclusiveness, hey man, the real spiritual master is more conclusive than anybody you've ever heard in your life, other than another liberated soul, because their opinion is the same. And what I've seen, I've been to India so many times, is most are inconclusive. Okay. So that's when you're ready to be delivered, you got to get the real Krishna. He's the conclusive truth. That's why Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay? It must have been important to put. You notice he made sure there was the word as it is in the book. Yeah. Okay. So their natural love for each other was awakened in them both, and they embraced and fell to the ground. When they embraced each other, ecstatic symptoms, paralysis, perspiration, tears, shivering, paleness, and standing up of the bodily hairs appeared. The word Krishna came from their mouths falteringly. When they embraced each other, ecstatic symptoms. See? So there you go, man. You see all the qualities of devotees. Here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's when two are together and this ecstasy flows. It's not a material embrace and it's not material love. It's this exchange of two ecstatic devotees.
Yeah.
And that's what we feel when you read it.
Yeah, that's what it, yeah, see, that's by mantra. See, we're in touch with the devotees by mantra. And otherwise, we have no real contact. That's why we live on the remnants of these devotees. See, the remnants, these writings, these things are great treasures. These books that Goswamis, they put in jeweled boxes and with lock on it. And to protect it, and they had guards, and they put them on a palanquin. That's how much they showed, even on this, in the physical world, that this is real treasure. Okay? These books, when they're spoken by real devotees, liberate souls, and that is real wealth. Okay? And they brought those books to West Bengal, and whoever heard from these authorized preachers were delivered with ecstatic devotion. That's going on here again. These are jeweled books, and we're unlocking them. See, opening these books, and that conclusive understanding is the key. See, and that's the keys to the kingdom, is to hear the words from those devotees who have that natural relationship with the Lord. And you can see they have these symptoms, when they embrace each other. This is when a devotee is chanting the holy name, they're embracing each other. The name, and the devotee is embracing the name, and the name is embracing them. How else can you know of this? This was here. The Lord was physically present. The devotee was physically present. You could see it that way. But now we got to see it internally. It's the same thing. The Lord, Caitanya, is non-different than his name. Are you being embraced by that name or not? Because if you do, you'll have symptoms like this. What? Perspiration, tears, maybe paralysis, shivering, paleness, standing of the bodily hairs appeared. If that's some of those symptoms or all of those symptoms are not appearing in your body, then you're not really related, transcendently related to the Lord. Doesn't matter what kind of checklist, in ISKCON, they have a checklist of what is a guru, but none of that is on there because the devotees don't have those symptoms. Therefore, they don't know that that's the standard. They may read this, they've read these books, and the gurus have read these books and over, but they don't understand this essence. This is only revealed to the devotee who has these symptoms. The Lord says, yeah, you see, this is the way it is. You see, you got that with me. And then you see, it's in the book. That's the devotee Bhagavat. When I was reading these things, when I first came to ISKCON, this was in 1980, I didn't know anything about Vaishnavism. I chanted the holy name and the ecstasy arose. I was reading these books and I said, wow, I experienced these things with Jesus. I could totally relate to that. See? So that the Lord was showing me. He's saying, yeah, you see, this is your experience. But it still wasn't clear. It took years. I had to go and experience life, experience the devotees, stay 5 years in ISKCON, to be with these regulative devotees with the conch in the water, and all that external stuff. And I was very unhappy in that way because it was like, God, this is so external, And so anyway, it took some years to find my way and what it was all really about. And I was always looking, and it's like always looking for somebody outside a role model to confirm these things. I couldn't find even one. Can you imagine? I had to go wander around. I couldn't find one person. And everybody, oh, he is it. It is him. He's the successor. And I go and I associate trying to get it. And then it's like, in that Matrix, the guys, the guy had no confidence. He's looking for a role model. Somebody saying, you're the one, So, and he couldn't get any confirmation. Therefore, he was like, I don't know. And Lord Caitanya was like that too. He was ecstatic from the beginning, and everybody said, oh, he's not, all these student communities were coming and everybody said, oh, he's crazy. Just like they told me, you're crazy for having these. Oh, you're crazy. They wouldn't even wait for me to say anything. Immediately in ISKCON, you're crazy. I told one guy I want to build a temple for Prabhupada. You're crazy. Yeah, what is it? Why is this shit coming out of people's mouths? It was, they were I didn't know they were just getting purified. When you have this potency, people say the strangest things. The hatred comes out of, they're like, the demons inside them come out. And so anyway, you got to get clear, anyway, it took some years and I started getting more and more clear from experience. And then I realized, whoa, the Lord is showing me something interesting. And then Prabhupada comes and confirms it. And so it is gradually, pushing forward. And then I started saying, okay, I'm just going to preach this. and see what happens. And look what's happening, man. You're right, Prabhupada. You're always right. Krishna, you're
When
always
you read
right.
this,
Huh?
when you
What?
read this, or when I read it myself, we got embraced by reading it.
Yeah.
They include you in this embrace.
What? Say that. I don't quite understand what you say.
This embrace between two devotees, or between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy, they include the one who's reading it is included in this embrace. While you are reading it, you feel embraced yourself.
Yeah. That's what it's about. Yeah. See, this is what you get, the treasure. This is the treasure. This is, people don't know. They think treasure is something outside, or some, false ego, false prestige, pride. This is no, that's not true. It's amazing. When I went in some of these places where they thought this is the real line, it was a bunch of pride, and people, they're worshiping pride. And then they would be falsely humility, and the pride was over it. And you know what I realize is that's an unpurified heart. See, they don't have only this real bhakti purifies the heart. See, so, and it's rare. It's rare. So anyway, I just went on, just kept worshiping in ecstasy, and just gradually, it all became more and more clear, and to the point where we're doing this now. So that's why it goes so fast. If anybody comes and hears this preaching and sees the logic of it, sees the clarity of it, and starts to realize, oh, this is what I'm looking for. Because a lot of people they're devotees. They're looking for Krishna people. They're surrendering to gurus because they want to follow the right way. See? So it's just a matter of time before they come to the real guru, and then they're satisfied. Then they see everything in the book comes alive for them. It's that simple. It becomes living. It's now you're an example of a real disciple and are able to walk in the real line. And eventually you become a guru too. You become very clear on all these things, and you become like your guru. See, this is, you want to go and learn Mridanga, you go to a master and you stay with them, and you learn your lessons with them, and you associate with them, and you become like the master. Yeah, same thing with spiritual master. Real spiritual masters mastered Krishna. When they chant Krishna, they're embraced by Krishna, and they embrace Krishna. Okay, and that's the simple truth. If you can't understand that, then go out there and worship those who don't have love of God, love of Krishna, until you yearn for the real thing. That's all practice. It's all practice. Yeah. So the word Krishna came from their mouths falteringly. So if that doesn't happen in your chanting, then you're not like this. You're not an associate of the Lord. Yeah, you're not an associate of the Lord. And therefore, that's why, we need the real standards so people can be delivered now. This is the time. Yeah. People are going to find they can't take, the soul is always naturally looking for shelter, because that's our nature. So you go and look at shelter in Fauci and Bill Gates and Trump and Biden or whoever else you idolize in this world. And then you find there's no real shelter there, because all the Lord's Maya. This is Maya. Illusions everywhere. You think the governor of New York or California, they're going to get shelter. But look, everything, they destroy everything. Okay? If you follow their lead, nothing, your body gets destroyed, because they do these. This is the Lord's Maya. It's a very destructive, isn't it? Okay. So, or you follow these you follow religion and religious leaders who don't have intimacy with God. See, intimacy with the transcendental form of the Lord. And then it also falls short. Always 2 fingers too short. See, you can't bind Krishna that way. Always 2 fingers too short, because there's no pure devotion there like Mother Yashoda had, or Mother Sachi had, or Srivas has, or any living devotee has in this world. And you come, but when you realize, I need to come to the real devotees and get it through that door, okay, now that rope to bind Krishna is never too short. See, now you're able to bind Krishna because of devotion. This is the gift you get of deliverance in the real line with the real devotee now, with the empowered representative, and that's their proof. They don't need no paper to say that they're bona fide. They don't need any group. It's called self-effulgent. They're effulgent because of the real self, Krishna, not their own false ego thing. No, Krishna makes them effulgent because of their intimate worship. Their ecstatic worship makes them naturally effulgent, naturally truthful. That's what, this is the boon you get. And honest people can see that. Even if they're not Vaishnavas. I see that in my dealings here. When people, when I say I'll buy this thing, like the trailer, I found one. I'm getting it on Monday. Thank you there, Lolita. That's amazing. So these guys, they say, I'll buy that thing. I'll leave it deposited. No, don't worry about it. One guy said this, and don't worry about it. Just you seem like a truthful person. The guy was a Christian. See, because that is manifest. But if a person is not truthful in their heart because they've been contaminated by associating with those who are not really truthful, they don't believe you. They won't believe your word. See? But truthful people will, honest in their hearts will. And they could be Christians, they could be Vaishnavas, they could be in the world. There's good people in the world too. Ask Shama Sundari. She talks about, meets a lot of good people. A lot of devotees in the world. They're actually devotees, just waiting to get the right association. And then they start to bloom, That's why, that's what happened. See, with Jesus Christ, it's always the same thing, same pattern. Jesus came to the religious people to give them the first chance. And many came probably. And then they went to the Pharisees, the people that were not even religious, and many good-hearted people, they were attracted to the truth, you see. So, and it's the same thing here. We come to the Vaishnavas, give them the chance. Because you've been doing Vaidhi Bhakti, okay, who's ready to go to the next stage? Why not? They believe in Krishna now. So some will come. And they very quickly get Krishna. They are able to bind Krishna with devotion. Okay. When the stereotyped ritualistic Brahmins who were following the Vedic principles saw this ecstatic manifestation of love, they were struck with wonder, and all these Brahmins began to reflect as follows. The Brahmanas thought, we can see that this sannyasi has a luster like the effulgence of a Brahmin, but how is it that he is crying upon embracing a Sudra, a member of the forest caste in the social order? There you go. You see why the Brahmins, it's always the same essential truth. See, in the Bhagavatam, it shows it in another, with the same thing. These stereotype ritualistic Brahmins, see, they're all the same. They have no creativity in a sense. They just come, they learn the rules, they just very, stereotype. They're all more or less the same. They conform. They're conformist. So the stereotype. And when they see a devotee who has this natural ecstatic relationship with God, with Lord Caitanya, and they're confused by it. It doesn't make sense to them. We've never seen this. We only see stereotyped Brahmins and stereotyped everything else. It's all, conformity. Hey, that's all we see. What is this crying upon, why is this sannyasi crying upon? They can't understand it. That's why even they have to go to the devotee to have explained. And if they don't, they stay a stereotype Brahmin their whole lives. You want to advance, you got to associate with a real devotee who has this kind of transcendental relationship with God. When they chant God's name, Chaitanya's name, Lord Chaitanya's name and Krishna's name, they cry and their voices falter and all these ecstatic symptoms. And then that's how you advance. Otherwise, you stay a stereotype Vaidhi Bhakti. Oh, look at this. Let's go to the fire sacrifice and see all the flames. See external flames. See all external symbol of the truth. You come here, man. You'll see flames. You'll feel the flames, man. They burn away all that karma, man. All that conditioning in there. See? But you don't die. What's in there. Krishna arises from those flames. See? Here you get the real. You want the burning. This is hotter than the sun. So because it burns up all karma, all conditioning, and then all of a sudden you can chant Hare Krishna in ecstasy. See? The other is this external. It's a shadow of this truth that is manifesting here. Like the wives of the Brahmins. See, the cowherd, Krishna wanted to teach this. So he said, okay, he didn't say go to the women first, the ones who would come. He said, go to let's show the highest truth, the highest path, distinguished from the illusion. Okay? So this is even a Brahmin on this level of the standard of the highest truth of deliverance, even this Brahman mentality and everything is part of the illusion, part of ignorance when it comes up to this standard. Okay? So Krishna says, hey, you cowherd boys, go beg some food from the Brahmins there. See what they do. And they did. They please, oh, earthly gods, because they're people on the earth. They believe in these Brahmins as going to be their deliverers. See, so still, sorry, inconclusive. Yeah. So they go to the Brahmins and say, give us some food. Krishna is hungry and see, because whatever you give through the real representatives of Krishna goes to Krishna, and you really advance. Shows, oh, really, you accept my devotees. Oh, you want to help my devotees. Oh, this is so important. Oh, you just automatically advance. But they wouldn't do it. No, nothing. Oh, you guys, man, what are you? You're nothing. Look at us. We're dressed really nice. And you're in cowherd attire, simple, two simpletons. See, they wouldn't do it. And so then Krishna says, well, go to the wives. And the wives had heard about Krishna, and they were yearning to meet Krishna because they were just kind of probably from past lives naturally attracted, when they heard about Krishna. And then the opportunity comes. The cowherd boys came to them and they immediately went, oh, and the Brahmins tried to, no, don't go, we're your gurus and blah, 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 blah. All tried to bewilder them. But their attraction was they were attracted to the point they can get free of that. They broke free of it, and they went anyway, even though their husbands were trying to talk them out of it with all this tricky. Brahmins, they have this sometimes. If they're, when they'll use their speculative knowledge, because it's all speculative until you're a real devotee, man. It's all speculations. They'll twist everything a little bit here and there, tweak it, so that they can get what they want. Like, oh, don't you know where the Vedas say you got to follow your husband's order, and we have to go. Okay? But you got to surpass, even when the real opportunity comes for reality, you got to surpass all of that and just go. Otherwise, they hold you back. Their inconclusiveness, their speculations hold you back. What are you going to do? So what do we do here? It's the same thing. Most gurus and sannyasis and Brahmins, they have disciples. But that's all. They are on that level of being a Brahmin at best. At best. Maybe some even little liberation stuff. But and if their disciples are ready to be free, they have to come. Otherwise, they stay where they are with their gurus. This is why it says the real deliverer opens up the book. It's always the same. The real guru is the same. They got to be like Jesus Christ in that sense. I mean, that's just a fact. You want to deliver people, you got to be empowered by God to do it. See? You got to open that book, just like Jesus said, yep, I've been anointed by the Spirit of the Lord to free the captives. See? Free those who are still bound by speculation and inconclusive understanding of the truth. Because if you have conclusive understanding, there's the path. Otherwise, the path is not clear. You know, a little speculation here and there from people who haven't realized God. See, goes you this way and that way. See, instead of straight. See, narrow gate, straight to the kingdom is the conclusive understanding, the empowered understanding, the real as it is understanding. Straight into there, straight into Vrindavan. And all those obstacles are on the side, and they don't bother you, man, because you're with the real guru here to deliver you. See? The real gurus bound all those obstacles. Their proof is they're in Vrindavan because they have a transcendental relationship with these symptoms. Therefore, Putana doesn't touch them. Aghasura doesn't touch them. You know, none of these demon obstacles are in their way. They just goes there instead. And you want to go there, they have the right understanding because of their ecstatic worship. They have the real knowledge, the essence of all to get into the kingdom. You believe in their opinion, boom, there you go. You're like the wives of the Brahmins now. See, now you're following the real Bhagavatam. Now you're in the real line. Now you're a real disciple. You got to be like them. You got to be like Bali Raja, who also gave up his guru because his guru was adverse to Shuddha Bhakti. And that is Bhagavatam. You don't give up such a guru. When you find the real path, a real guru who is conclusive and has a transcendental relationship with the Lord, well, you're stuck there. You can't move on. See, this is real Bhagavatam preached here. If you don't have the strength, well, go out and keep following speculation until you understand it falls short. It's 2 fingers too short of your binding Krishna. People come here, you're binding Krishna, and proof is in the pudding. We have examples. People getting Krishna, feeling Krishna bound in their hearts, awakened in their hearts, nurtured. They're like sucking. Krishna's out there, getting the real food now, and he's growing, getting bigger and bigger, stronger, more ecstatic. Okay. So they thought this Roy is the governor of Madras, a highly learned and grave person, a Mahapandit. But upon touching the sannyasi, he has become restless like a madman. Yeah. That's it, man. You got to, now, because Lord Caitanya is unmanifest, you got to find the devotees who become restless like a madman when they chant his names. Okay? That's the right association. And then you can move from being a Brahmitical person or a Vaidhi Bhakta person to a real reality, real devotee. It's the only real thing in the world. Krishna said, Lord Caitanya quoted this. He said, the only thing real in this world is Krishna. Okay? And also Krishna's devotee. Okay? These are the only real things in this world. Is Krishna and Krishna's devotee, because in one sense they're simultaneously one and different. So when you find the real devotee, you found reality. That's why Jesus said, I'm the way. I'm the reality. Reality is the way. That's what we say. Krishna's name is reality. Yes? Krishna's name is reality. See? I had a point about that. Mm-hmm. What was that point? Krishna's name is reality. Yeah. Yeah. So the name of Krishna's reality, and the devotee is reality also. See, because you get the real Krishna through them, the real God through them. Yeah. Real perception of the Lord. Perception. They got this saying: perception, reaction. What is it? Perception, reaction, solution, perception. Anyway, I'll think about that one.
It's reality because it starts to live when you use this name, when you express this name. He starts to live. He shows himself. He shows up.
Yeah, and you find that's the real life.
Yeah.
See, real life is this relationship. Then it's real. Sure. See, we become aware of reality. Otherwise, we're asleep still.
Yeah, the real life starts to live.
Yeah. See, that's why it's not in being. See, a lot of people think in religion still, it's about being adored, to be important, to be. This is called false prestige. See, but it's to live again. It's when you worship God, is to feel the life of the transcendental reality of God. That's it. And not to get the life of false prestige. Oh, look at, I got so many followers. Oh, look at my position. You see, that's not life. That's false. It's temporary, because when you die, you find you're still poor. See? Devotees are rich in this life and the next because they're in reality. This way, when they chant, when you come to the point, which comes very quickly, when you come to the real path, which is the real devotee, because they tell you the real truth conclusively, and they show you the real life of ecstatic love. See? Then you take that with you. That's the real treasure. See, the Vaishnavas need to be really clear about that, because if you don't bind Krishna with this devotion awakening, then it's been like, well, you're not successful in this life. Doesn't matter how nice of a Brahmin you are. Okay, you're still in the material universe. Here you get a chance to transcend the material universe in this life, and you can taste this nectar of the spiritual world that they taste in this life, sometimes in a week. Come on, wake up, sleeping souls. You want to just you want to die a Brahmin or even a liberated soul sitting in that blinding light, not seeing the true nature of God yet. You don't see the full form of the Lord. Here we do. And proof is you chant the name of Krishna and you're filled with this bliss and ecstasy and all these wonderful symptoms of true happiness. And this is eternal. You're free now. Cycles, the bonds of birth and death shattered forever. My God, what a gift. We have this every day is the appearance day of our Lord. Not once a year or some special thing that Prabhupada appears on this day. Yeah, we just call the devotees here, get the power to call the names of any devotee and they appear. Oh, there he is, Advaitacharya, Advaita, oh, Jesus Christ, Jesus. There you are, man. I don't have to wait for your birthday one whole year. This is all the shadow of what the devotees get, the opulence the devotee gets. They're better than Queen Kunti. She could call the what do you call these demigods and they would come. Yeah, we call Krishna and he comes. We call the real devotees, which are better than the demigods, and they come. They're worshipped by these demigods, the ones we call, and they come. My God, how do you know? Well, you become filled with the ecstasy like Ramananda Roy was when embracing the Lord. Where, the more I think about this, I think, boy, we're in the right place.
Do we have to convince you?
I become more convinced every day.
I have have a feeling. How can you? They say they are surrendered, etc. But how can you surrender when you're still asleep? When you don't know to who you are surrendering, you don't have this connection yet. That's
Yeah.
not real. It's artificial.
Yeah. It's practice. It's
Yeah.
practice. Yeah. Yeah. We have to follow the formula. The formula is all in the book. So you don't need no checklist. You just need the real book spoken to you. So it's by the action of the Bhagavat, see? The real conclusive truth, and the devotee Bhagavat, see? The devotee who's absorbed in these mellows, see? They're authorized. See? And this love, this pure devotion is instilled in the heart of others. And now you combine Krishna because you got prema, devotion. See? This is so unclear in Vaishnavism.
Yeah.
You know, and our work here is to make it clear. Anyone who listens here, you'll see this makes the most sense of everything. This is the way the Lord preached conclusively 500 years ago. And so we have Caitanya Charitamrita, which is the same preaching that was preached 500 years ago. And then when it's preached now again, now you got the New Testament of Vaishnavism, which is just what he preached. And that's what delivered people. You know, all these conclusive, confidential principles, they awaken devotees' devotion and nourish it. See, and nourishing the Bhakti Lata Bij. Otherwise, Vaidhi doesn't nourish this. Isn't that? It's like what? That doesn't give any water to this.
Yeah. They speak about personalism. They are so happy we are not impersonalists, but there is no personal exchange, not a real personal exchange. So it's not real personalism.
No, personal means encounters with that transcendental Lord. You got to encounter him. What does he show up in our lives? What does it feel like to be with God? See? Yeah, see, that's what you get here. You get an encounter with the Lord, not just a bunch of words and eulogies and mantras, ba 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 ba. It's a bam ba bam ba bam ba bam ba bam chicka boom. So while the Brahmanas were thinking in this way about the activities of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw those outsiders and restrained his transcendental emotions. Oh, look what he called them. Outsiders. You want to remain an outsider? See, you come here, you become an insider. See, this is inside the relationship, transcendental relationship. You're coming inside just by coming here. If you start to like hanging out with these devotees here, you're becoming an insider spontaneously, naturally. Your natural love for Krishna will awaken and develop in due course, easily. You know, you'll become, just naturally attracted. And these persons, they're outsiders and trying to get inside by their sadhanas, and always 2 fingers too short. Always trying to get into the kingdom, and then they're thrown out because they're outsiders. Okay? The way inside is the association of those who are inside devotees, and that's mercy. See, that's the extraordinary mercy. You come inside. See, if you like this preaching, okay? If you like this ecstasy and you come and associate with these devotees here, you become just drawn inside. What a easy, wonderful path. What a gift. That's what it is. It's a gift. You think this is happening all the time? Usually 99.9% of Lord Chaitanya's movement is on the level of religion still. People don't have this power to draw people inside. We have that power. We're already doing it. Anybody who becomes convinced that this is the place to be, that this is the place to get Krishna is very fortunate. But you got to come and you got to listen. Otherwise, you don't have the strength. It's just Maya. This is what Jesus said. He said, he was the sower of the word of the kingdom. See, the word of the kingdom is this relationship. And some people, this word, see, like now, this word falls on people that come and listen. But they come one day or 2 days or once a month or something. So it doesn't bear fruit very fast. Maybe in the next life they get a little more serious or something. Okay? But those where they hear this word and they cultivate it and they keep hearing this word, all of a sudden you get a transcendental experience, just like the Caitanya Charitamrita chapter 1 on the spiritual master says. The way of transcendental experience opens up. Okay? But if you don't listen, then it doesn't take root. There's no root in that person. Do you want to have roots? Hey, I just tell you, you got no root, come here and you'll grow roots. Listen, if you listen to this advice, just come here for 30 days and see some roots will sprout. Otherwise, you just come and you think, oh, very nice. It's like everything else. This is not like everything else. There are uncommon symptoms going on here, uncommon understanding of the path of Krishna consciousness. You don't get anywhere. And if you stay 30 days, you'll see that. And you start to grow some roots in the truth. Okay? Otherwise, you're just going around, bouncing around in illusion, in religion. Okay? We've abandoned religion. We got truth, man. We got ecstatic worship. We got intimacy with God here. And it's all proven every day. You could see, it's just the conversations that Srinivas had. In Bhakti Ratnakara says, the conversation that Srinivas and those devotees, Narottam and Shamananda, had with their disciples, people, would yearn to hear those conversations. And you know what? You're getting those conversations here. This is right here on Facebook Live. They couldn't do that then. We can do it now. These conversations are rare. These conversations are extremely confidential. They shouldn't even be spoken, but they are, because they awaken and nourish the devotees who have been looking for the yearning for this stuff. Otherwise, you're not really serious. If you're happy with being with mundane gurus, or you not seeing that falls 2 fingers too short, you still haven't got pure love of God, being in that association for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you don't even care, then why would you think this is important? Maybe you just want to be a sannyasi and guru yourself, and that's your aspiration, like theirs was. See, they got it, but now you got to work for it. Okay? But if you want Krishna, well, this is the path to it. Quickly, without a lot of troubles, without a lot of lifetimes. You can get prema in this lifetime here, because that kind of preaching is manifested here. Minus hypocrisies. What you see is what you get. Okay? What you hear is what you get here. See? What you see are the symptoms of ecstatic devotion, like the songbook says. What you hear is what you get, like the songbook says. First, your illusion is destroyed, okay? And the promises of the Lord come here: ecstatic devotion, closeness, attraction to Krishna. Okay? Everywhere else, those words, if the persons are not empowered to deliver people, you don't get it. Okay? So that's the teaching out there in the Maya. See? So, while the Brahmanas were thinking in this way about the activities of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw those outsiders and restrained his transcendental emotions. See, this is what outsiders usually do. they say, oh, you shouldn't be showing these emotions. See, that's why the Lord restrained them, because they, what's going on? What's going on? This is weird. Okay? But there was a point where the Lord, see, so it's up to the devotees. The Lord also, see, people read that and they say, you see, you're supposed to restrain your emotions. And if the persons knew what they're saying, oh, I see, you're an outsider saying that, right? You're like those Brahmins. You don't care about seeing the rarest thing in the world, because if you even see these emotions, you spiritually advance by seeing for the first time in your life, true reality are these emotions. This relationship between a real devotee. They're real. They're alive. They're born. Spiritually born. Reborn. Okay? Seeing reality now is this relationship. Oh, and we shouldn't show that. Well, after a while, see, the Lord sometimes would restrain it, just like we do, and sometimes not. Oh, yeah, when he went to South India, he would show all of it. He'd be his preaching program. He'd just roll into a town and start chanting Hare Krishna and show that actually laughing and crying and everything. And some people were like, "Wow, man, what is this? We never seen worship like this." And so they became insiders. They started to associate and hear from him. He would preach these things that we're preaching. Srinivas did the same. They roll into town laughing and crying, worshiping the Lord in ecstasy. And people say, well, what's this about? What is this? Oh, well, come hear about it. See, so, and that's the way it is. Nowadays, there's so much jungle growth. We got to cut through it a little bit here. We got to just relentlessly laugh and cry and choke up and show the world that they can't take us down. We take them down.
Yeah.
We unclothe the world and show them what is reality, because that's, it's been ordered. Prabhupada said, this has my approval. Doing exactly what I want you to do. Do more of that. So what do I got to do? I got to follow his order. I don't got to, but it's nice. I like it. Father knows best. Yeah. I like fighting with the Maya. It's something fun about that. Krishna enjoyed it also. He enjoyed fighting with the Maya. Didn't you see? He told Narada, go over there and tell Kamsa where I'm at. Man, let him come on. Send us some demons, man. Send them over here. I also, come on, you guys. Come on. Gotta have some chivalry, man. Hey, come on, send them over. Let's grapple a little bit. Let's wrestle. Hey, man, what did Paul say? We wrestle. We wrestling with the illusion, man. Yeah. It's kind of fun, because you gotta, if you're in power, see, you got Christian. It's like these demons. They say, hey, man, we couldn't be doing this to you unless we had help from the other side. I say the same thing. I couldn't be fighting with you unless I had help from the other side. But not that side that you got. You got that one, we'll prove who's stronger, man. The help, I have the side, of the transcendental potency. You got Lucifer over there. He's more limited. My Lord's unlimited. Your Lord is the God of destruction. My Lord is the God of recreation. See? He'll build up. He's an expert mechanic. He'll build up what is broken down. You guys have broken down. He's going to rebuild. See? It's much cleaner. He's more green than your so-called hypocrisy. They destroy these demons, man. They destroying everything, and they all in the, and then they hypocritically say, "Oh, we just want to make the world green," and all this, and they dumping all this chemtrails and all this crapola in the atmosphere, and lighting fires and all kinds of crazy things that demons do. Oh, but we're into, what is this? What do they call that there, River? Greenness.
Ecology.
Ecologies, and we want to save the planet, and global warming. Yeah, they're doing the global warming, and then they say we want to stop it. That's so hypocritical. It's a lie. It's all masking their real intentions. Demons always got this they all want to control. See, they want to control, they want to manipulate, even on a level of Brahmins. That's why Prabhupada, a lot of his god brothers, they were Brahmins, they were doing rules, regulations, everything. And they said, we just want to help you. We want to help you. And the disciples, they said, yeah, the Burger brothers want to work with you now that you're famous. See, they didn't want to help him before. Now he becomes famous. Oh, yeah, yes, we want to get in there and, and help you. And Prabhupada, smart, wise. He says, no, they don't want to do it. They don't really want to. They want to get in, worm their way in, and then take over. See, Maya's always like that. The same thing with the Pharisees. Oh, Judas. Oh, they just want to help you, Jesus. They told me they want to help you. And he said, no, don't believe them. No, they beware of that leaven that's full of hypocrisy and lies and cheating. That's religion, man. See, religion. Vaishnava religion. It's at the level of religion, man. They ain't going to deliver you. You got to get free of the hypocrisy and lies. They can't get away from being hypocritical. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I don't care how sincere they are, but you can't get delivered unless they got ecstatic love of God and they're empowered to deliver you. I'm sorry. Are you really want Krishna? Because you got to go the right way. You have to have the conclusive understanding. You have to see a devotee filled with the bliss that we read about in this book. Otherwise, you're not getting delivered. Well, I don't agree with you, Gauri. Well, then go your way. Believe what you want to believe. I'm going to preach what I believe in. You see what the result of your following those persons preaching something else. Well, Gauri, your opinion must be wrong because your opinion doesn't agree with all of these acharyas, so-called acharyas out here. So-called gurus in the line. Your opinion is different than all of theirs. Yeah, because it's the right opinion. Yeah, a great sage is not a great sage unless their opinion differs from others. See? It's not by study of the Vedas that you can come to the right conclusion. The real conclusion is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized soul. You know how many years it took me to realize that? After having to try to get confirmation from all those other opinions out there. Finally I had to say, okay, all right, now I see what it is. It's always that rare opinion that delivers people. Jesus Christ's opinion was different. You notice that? It's different. And anyone who believed it, those 11 who believed it, what happened? Became saints. Look at you guys. This opinion here is different than all these other gurus, all of them, Gaudiya Smitya and Gaudiya Math and ISKCON. But you're getting delivered and have the symptoms of being delivered.
It's more attractive.
Yeah, more attractive. The truth is, and that opinion, it goes with the opinion in the book. Their opinion doesn't. See, people think, oh, well, Gaurahari's opinion has to be like all these other authorities in ISKCON or whatever group. But that's not what the books say that you're studying. The book said, a sage is not a great sage. And the great sage is not about a false ego idea. No, great sage is somebody empowered by the Lord to deliver you. Yeah, they have the real opinion. Okay? The real understanding. It's a one opinion. See, it's not like just any opinion. It's God's opinion. And God's opinion delivers you. It's the same as Jesus Christ's opinion. It's conclusive. It's the same as Prabhupada's opinion. That's why we read his words. See? Bhakti Siddhanta is the same. Rupa Goswami is the same. And if you see that, you're a liberated soul, or Krishna shows you the real path and you're attracted. Oh, I want to go there now. Oh, thank God. The truth has appeared before me. The real path. See, the way, the life, the truth is the devotee. All your fastings, all your study of the Vedas, all your renunciation and austerity leads to the devotee. And that's the door. You just walk through the door and get delivered.
Yeah, the new opinion, this different opinion every time, over and over again. It's a correction of the Lord. He corrects when we get deviated after so many years and years and years. We always need to be corrected again.
Yeah. Yeah, because see, if you accept unconclusiveness as your direction, and you're more or less misdirected. I mean, it's nice. You come to Vaidhi Bhakti and they tell you that Krishna is God and all that, and you're doing that, but there's still going to be some misdirection in there because you think, oh yeah, just go to Vaidhi Bhakti and stay in that for all my life and all that. But then you go and you get maybe some result of the Vaidhi Bhakti, which is not really that satisfying. But if it's satisfying to you still, like some people, they really want to be Brahmins and they like learning all these pujas and all that stuff. And they spend their whole lives doing it. Okay, fine. But some people, they come in and they want more. See, I want more of Krishna. You got to be like that. You got to have some greed. Every day I have greed, man. I want more of Krishna. I come here, I chant. It's not enough just to chant. Krishna, I want to feel you, man. I want you. I want to associate intimately. I want you here, close. You don't have that. Most people don't have that. They don't care. In Vaishnava, they don't care about that. They come here, they look at that. Oh, what is this? I want to be a Brahmin. No, I want to go and listen to intellectual talks about Bhagavatam. No, here is simple. We got greed. Why want Krishna? So that's the only way to get Krishna. Ramananda Roy taught this. The only way to attain Krishna Vrindavan is with greed. And that means you got to be with greedy people. Otherwise, you don't even know what it is. You don't even know that that is the attribute, even though you read it so many times in the book. You got to see a devotee greedy, wanting. You got to come, Krishna. You must come. How can I live? I'm the devotee's like a beggar, like, begging, and sometimes ordering, whatever it is, demanding. Getting angry at Krishna. Where are you? It's relationship. She knows she really would relate to that. That pushed her button, man. Got her goat.
Best relation.
Yeah. Hey, that's the treasure, is the devotees who are like that. Then you see the real role model. Otherwise, you don't know. You got to see a role. What is the role model? Most people don't have that. So devotees, you need to see, is your guru greedy like that? So greedy that Krishna comes and those symptoms, faltering the voice, tears in the eyes, ecstatic laughter, all these wonderful emotions are coming. Otherwise, that guru is not the real one. Not the real, in the real line yet. Okay? This is the reason why Bhakti Siddhanta taught our line is Shiksha, because he looked at Gorkashore Das Babaji. He said, you see, he's got the emotions that we read about in Caitanya Charitamrita. He laughs, he cries when he worships Krishna in ecstasy. Therefore, I accept his shiksha. I accept his diksha, actually. I got diksha from him. And Bhakti Vinod said, yeah, you go to him and get diksha. Okay? And so then, but, so anyway, he did. And so he was a bona fide, he was diksha and shiksha guru. Okay? And then Bhakti Vinod also is in the line because they have the same kind of symptoms of being in the line. You got to have the symptoms, the transcendental symptoms like we read in the books. Otherwise, you're not in the line yet. See? Person who has these symptoms, the Lord will show them and they'll be able to speak about the confidential truth of these truths here. See? Otherwise, not. You might think, some people say, who's your guru, Gohari? Well, I haven't really had any guru I would really say that really added anything to me, except Prabhupada. Oh, well, that's not bona fide because you got to come in the line. Okay, well, that's this external idea. What is a better idea? The better idea, the more conclusive idea is if I can pick up Caitanya Charitamrita and explain it and make your head spin. And like, wow, man, I studied this book 6 times, 6 times. Now I really understand it. I think that's being in the real line. That means Lord Chaitanya and Krishna are showing me things that nobody else can show. See, this is internal understanding. This is clear. This is logical. This is what busts Maya. Maya is covering all this stuff, making you think superficially. Making you think illogically, thinking that, I can get this treasure of Krishna consciousness and love of Krishna from a guru who doesn't have love of Krishna. See, that to me is illogical. I don't preach that. They preach that. Oh yeah, you just accept this qualification of guru in our checklist that we've come up with, and you will be delivered to Krishna Loka. I don't accept that. That's not conclusive. They have to have these symptoms. So I'm going to skip a little bit. So indeed, Ramananda Roy said, no, I'm going to go on here. So Ramananda Roy says, text number 33, by his mercy, and he's talking about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, by his mercy, I have received your interview here. Consequently, I consider that today I've become a successful human being. See, so that's how it works. See, first Sarvabhauma was converted, okay? And he became an associate, transcendental associate of Lord Chaitanya. He became an insider. And then he says, go to Ramananda Roy. He's really a good Vaishnava, okay? And so now, Ramananda Roy is acting like a conditioned soul. He says, you see, this person has favored me because he's your devotee. And now because of that, I have your interview. Now that's a disciplic line. Okay? The devotee who has that transcendental favor of the Lord, that intimacy, that ecstasy, that relationship, transcendental relationship, you get the interview of the Lord by being introduced. This person here, they come and listen, just like here. This is how it works. Come here. I'm thinking people coming here sincerely like this, persons, even like Tuka, doing his best. He's got all these problems and everything, and I'm saying, Lord, give him an interview. Look at him. He's coming, he's developing faith in this. And that goes for anybody. Evo, say Evo, he says, I'm negative, I can't help it and all that. Oh, Lord, he's trying. He's coming here. He's going this. It don't matter. He's coming here. He's listening to this word. You give him an interview. Otherwise, you're not going to get an interview. You got to go to the person who has this relationship. That's why you go to these gurus, and you're going to get Krishna. You're going to get that interview, right? You want to meet the Lord and be interviewed, have some exchange, and you don't get it. See? You go and you go to this one and that one, they fall down, and then you go to another one, and then they say, well, go directly to Prabhupada, and you still don't get the interview. The interview is where you're associating intimately. Yeah. You want to say something about that? Go ahead. Sorry. Somehow it mutes. I didn't mute you.
I did it because I wanted to warm up my cup of tea. I didn't want to make the noise with my microwave.
Okay. You can also unmute yourself then too?
Yeah, I can, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah.
No,
So
you deliver us from
Yeah.
our illusionary, out of Maya to the Lord. You're in between.
Yeah, in between. Yeah. Intercessor. It's like like an intercessor. Yeah. And so you get the interview, and then the Lord awakens in your heart. See, because of your faith. That you believe, okay, Gohar, he's a real representative. He represents the transcendental Lord, and the Lord sees your sincerity, and then he starts to give you interviews. So, and so otherwise, it's always two fingers too short. When the devotion doesn't awaken by the Lord giving you awareness of His transcendental truth, you're always two fingers too short. You can't bind Krishna. You can do all these lacks and austerities and everything. Still, you can't grab him. You always be like that. You got to go through that, and then you interview, just like this verse. All these verses always basically saying the same thing over and over again. That's why I always have to talk about it, because I come across the verses saying the same thing again and again and again. That's how important it is. The most important thing is to find the door, right? You want to go to Vrindavan. The most important thing is what? To find the door to Vrindavan. Otherwise, you're looking around to get to Vrindavan, and it doesn't matter how much Radhe, Radhe, and all this other stuff, but they're not doors. And it's just a bunch of talk, Radhe, and I never memorized all these things and everything, and you're not getting in. You're not feeling that interview, that intimate interview with the Lord. Okay? You got to find the door. See, that's why after 2,000 years, they're still preaching the same thing in Christianity. The door, the door, the door. And they're still not clear. We can clear that up. You got to be the door. Just like there's one guy, very powerful preacher. I forgot his name. Anyway, powerful preacher. You know what he says? You got to be a son of God. Have you got the mercy of the Son? And then you got to be the Son. And your preaching is going to deliver people. See? Because if you got the same spirit, if you are like Jesus, you got to be like Jesus, man. If you think that's too much or blah blah blah, you are inconclusive. You cannot do. I don't care. You are a guru. You can't do nothing for your disciples of value, real value. You can't say you're like Prabhupada. Then you are not in the real line. What are you doing? You just, you can get a bunch of rules. Okay, great. You can deal with neophytes. You have to have the blessing of Prabhupada to be as him. Otherwise, what are you doing on the Vyasa son? Oh, I'll never, there's probably have 10,000, Prabhupada. So, we're just, he's a spiritual man. They do the same thing in Gaudiya Samiti. And the people, I'm not criticizing. I'm just, hey, man, I'm just got to be conclusive. I don't care if it dispels your illusions. What is this thing? You're a Guru Daves? They have gurus. And this is the same thing in ISKCON. Always the same thing. And it shows you Gaudiya Samiti falls short because it's not conclusive. Listen. And it's not about criticism, it's about being truthful completely. What is this? Your guru Dave and your guru Narayan Raj is the only real acharya, and you're not an acharya, and you got disciples, and they go, Guru Dave, give me mercy. What kind of mercy can you give? You got to be like your guru. Otherwise, you don't have it. You're like that guy in the Matrix. Go eat your cookies. But that's it, man. You got to be like that. You got to, Jesus Christ had the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Prabhupada had the spirit of devotion. Same thing. Empowered by Krishna. Do you got it, my friend? And your Guru Dave's? Why can't you get the title? Only Narayan Raj has the title of Divine Grace. And Prabhupada has the title of Divine Grace. Or Srila. And I would never take. Yeah, no, that's only for them. Oh, well, you're not like that? Then you're not in the line yet. The line is a live wire, man. It is hot. So hot it burns your karma. You know? Live wire. Yeah, it's just like God comes. He comes in the form of the guru, man. That's why they're really authoritative. It's like Nicodemus. He comes to Jesus, and he listens and like, whoa, man, never heard anybody like this. Then he goes to this Pharisee guys and they say, did he say anything different? He said, not really, but my God, I never heard anybody speak like this before. We can't speak like that. So authoritative because it's God coming to you as the guru, the deliverer. It's like, here, come on, man, you PhDs. Come and let's see you. Do some battle here, man. How are we going to prove what we're doing here if you guys don't come, man? Hey, but they want to let loose of their followers yet. Oh, who do we got here? Look at this. All right. We've got, I thought this, okay, let's see. We've got, let me get him up here. We got one spot for you, Rangaleka. We'll let you take it here.
Really?
We got one spot for you, man. All right, there he is. How's it going?
It's good to be here, and it's good to hear you.
Well, it's good to see you there.
No, it's good to see you. Don't take it off me. I want to say the one that it's good to see you, because you're the man who does it for me.
Really?
Really.
You like this class today?
I think it's very nice.
Oh, good. Have you been hearing the whole thing practically, or?
A little bit of it.
A little bit, yeah. Where are you, at your house now?
Yeah, I'm here with Karuna Sindhu.
Ah, that's why you're on here. He got you set up there.
He showed me how to get on, you see, so that's where I'm on.
Ah, that's good. Well, thanks.
So just doing a little bit of work for me on my computer at the moment. And then we're going, it'll be good.
Yeah, so, okay, good. So anyway, you're on. That's good. All right, next verse. So I can see that you have bestowed. I can see that you have bestowed special mercy upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Therefore, you have touched me. Although I am untouchable, this is due only to his love for you. I can see that you have bestowed special mercy upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Therefore, you have touched me. Although I am untouchable, this is due to his love for you. So there you go. Again, disciplic line. See, so it's like that saying where the another associate of Lord Caitanya said, Lord Caitanya said, is your son your father, or are you the father of your son? And the father said, well, actually, my son is our father. Because your special mercy was upon him first. See? And then we got love of Krishna because of him. See? Because your special mercy, that's a disciplic line. The symptoms of love of God was first given to the Son, and then the Son gave it to his Father. So the Father is thinking, oh, well, you're my Father. And then Lord Caitanya said, yes, it is correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. See, so, hey, man, now the spiritual master, if we're progressive in Krishna consciousness, that is the standard now. Why? Because it's happening now. That is happening now. Their special mercy is being proven to be here because it's awakening in you guys coming here. See? So that's why you call me guru. You call me spiritual master. Even though like you're older than me, but yet you call me spiritual master. See? Because first the mercy was here, and then you get it. That's a disciplic line. And then you give it to your disciples, later on, the same thing happens. First the mercy is upon you, and then they get it through you. And that's guru. You become spiritual master like that. This is how the Lord spread his bhakti movement, his pure bhakti movement. That's how it's being spread now, and only that way. Right now, we're the first fruits, obviously, of this. And so as people are added, as people come, one person said, it was a friend of, okay, I won't say who it is, but anyway, one person wrote me privately and said, oh, I see I heard you want a lot of followers. That's not really good. That's not good karma. That you get a lot of bad karma, and that's not good karma, to get so many followers. And I said, well, I'm not into that. I said, whoever comes, it's this thing, a good karma, bad. I never think in those terms anymore. I think in terms, if anybody comes, wow, it's adding to our devotional family, isn't it? Isn't it nice when new people come and they really serious? Wow, we got more family members. It's wonderful. It's like, and because Krishna is doing the purification, all good and bad karma is dissolved here. We're not into, a lot of people still think in terms of good and bad karma. Could you imagine? This is another path. We're not in good karma or bad karma. We're dissolving all karmas and are on the path of love of God, relishing transcendental mellows, right? That's the path we're doing here, is relishing these mellows. So that I gave that explanation. I don't know what the person says. We'll find out. So you have touched me, although I am untouchable, and this is due only to his love for you. So if you want to be delivered easily, you come here and learn these conceptions. Aren't we teaching this? Aren't we explaining this? Aren't we making this clear? Jesus said, the mark of a prophet. You got to find a real prophet in this world. The mark of a prophet, synonymous with acharya, synonymous with bona fide spiritual master. The mark of one of those is they explain. Jesus said this. They explain what has been said before. See, make it more clear. Mm-hmm. And then they bring forth new understanding. Okay? That's why you got to hear this. Because if you hear this, you're pointed like a laser right into Vrindavan and how to get there. The means is right here in these verses. All you have to do is line up with that truth. See? And that means you have to find the devotee who has had that mercy bestowed first of a transcendental relationship with Lord Caitanya and Radha and Krishna. You find them first, see? And then you come in that door, and then you get it. See? What's the difficulty? Difficulty is speculation. Difficulty is not being an experienced devotee, being a transcendentally situated with the Lord. That's the difficulty. Oh, so many difficulties, right? Otherwise, here, what's the difficulty? There is no difficulty. We just explained. This is Krishna. Krishna is the conclusive truth. Krishna is chit potency, man. The essence of all truth is in that verse, in all these verses. He's ecstatic devotion. You see all those elements of deliverance in this Sangha. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan himself. And I'm only a government servant interested in materialistic activities. Indeed, I am the lowest among men of the force caste. You do not fear the Vedic injunctions stating that you should not associate with a Sudra. You are not contemptuous of my touch, although in the Vedas you are forbidden to associate with Sudras. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, no one can understand your purpose. By your mercy, you are touching me, although this is not sanctioned by the Vedas. See, he's talking like an ordinary person. See? You have come here specifically to deliver me. You are so merciful that you alone can deliver all fallen souls. It is a general practice of all saintly people to deliver the fallen. Therefore, they go to people's houses, although they have no personal business there. Okay? When you hear from the door, you hear from the real devotee. See, you're going in the door, and then the Lord comes to you, right? You feel it inside your heart. Okay? The Lord comes to you because you go in the real door. Okay? And now you know the Lord. You know his transcendental nature. And that's so attractive. You don't want to let go, and he won't let go of you either. Even if you wander away for some reason, I did this before. I wandered away. He grabbed me by the hair and brought me back. See? Once he gets a hold of you, he's very greedy himself. He won't let you go. He'll drag you back to the spiritual world. Good for us, huh?
Comfortable.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It is a general practice of all saintly people to deliver the fallen. Therefore, they go to people's houses, although they have no personal business there. Okay. Look at how we're going to people's houses. Aren't we going on Facebook Live? You know, the devotees think transcendentally. They think, oh, house, oh, these physical houses. Let's see, how can we do that in these age? They won't even let us go to the houses now. Nobody will open the door because of the COVID, you know? So how can we go, oh, well, let's see. Let's go deep in there. What is the house of a person? The house is their body, you know? The house is there, you know, and you want to go in the door, you go in their ear. That's the door to the house, you see? So we don't knock, we just barge in, you know? Why knock? We'll just barge in, man. Force it on people, man. It's just, hey, man, we're coming to your house, man. We're coming indoors. On Facebook Live, YouTube Live, coming in. Just thought we'd give you a shout. We have no business here, but the Lord's business. He wants to deliver you. Well, what is that? We don't want to. He wants to wake you up. No, we're sleeping in this Maya. We like it, you know. No, sorry. Time to wake up. It's ordered in Kali Yuga. Everybody gets this. Everybody has to wake up. Okay. Yeah. So, River, why don't you read us? Actually, Rangaleka, you want to read us something? Hey, you got the unanimous. The devotees are asking.
Ranga, Ranga, Ranga.
Hey, come on. You're not going to hide behind that cough. We're still going to make you read.
Yeah.
No.
No? No, no?
No, no.
Okay. No. Okay, no problem. So who wants to read then? The most greedy, open your mouth.
I'll read. Unless Lolita wants to read.
No, no, no. You're the most greedy.
I had a really great class this morning. I had 19 people in my class this morning.
Wow,
Amazing.
you're trumping me. You're getting more than me.
Wow.
my encouragement. My encouragement. Could you give me what you're reading again? Ramaranda Roy.
Oh yeah, this is chapter 8 in Madhya Lila, and it's Caitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, this is Caitanya Charitamrita, not Chaitanya Bhagavat. And text number 40.
Okay. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Text 40. Is that right, Maharaj?
Yes, text 40.
Talks between. Okay. I'm gonna open it up in my phone because my head's just down.
Yeah, no problem.
Hare Krishna, Hare. I have my respectful obeisances, my wonderful spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura Haridas, Acharya. All glories to you, my friend. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the previous acharyas. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to Goswami. All glory to Srila Goswami. All glories to Sanatana Goswami. All glory. All glory to Rupa Goswami. All glories to Gopinath Goswami. All glories to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. All glories. Raghunath, all glories to you all. I offer my respectful obeisances to my life and soul, Sri Caitanya. All glories to you. My Lord, all glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, Avadut. All glories to you, my Lord. Oh, it's getting hot. I offer my respectful obeisances to Advaita Acharya Prabhu. All glories to you for calling the Lord out of the milk ocean and saving all of us. And glories to you, Advaita. Glories. Oh, I offer my respectful obeisances to Buddha. All glories. I offer my respectful obeisances to Shivas. All glories. I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Shrimati Radharani, the personification of pure devotion. All glories to you, Radharani. All glory. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisance to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality, Shri Krishna. All glories to you, my Lord of Lords. I offer my respectful obeisance to all the intimate devotees and devotees in the Sangha of Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura. Oh, glories to you, my friends, my God brothers and sisters. Oh, glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisance to all those devotees who are favorable and the ones that are not of Srila Gaura Harita. Oh, glories to you. Oh, glories to you for joining us. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Lord's intimate devotees, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, wherever you may be. Wherever you be, please join us. Please show yourselves and join. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Jaya Gaura. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Oh glories to all the exalted personalities, all the exalted. Jai Shila Gaura. Jai Shila Gaura. Jai Shila Prabhu. Jai Shila Prabhu. Jai Shila. All glories. Okay, chapter 4. My dear Lord, sometimes great saintly persons go to the homes of householders, although the householders are generally low-minded. When a saintly person visits their home, one can understand that it is for no other purpose than to benefit the householders. My dear Lord, sometimes great saintly persons go to the homes of householders, although these householders are generally low-minded. When a saintly person visits their home, one can understand that it is for no other purpose than to benefit the householders. Along with me, there are about 8,000 men, including the Brahmanas, and all of them appear to have had their heart melted simply by seeing you. Along with me, there are about 8,000 men, including the Brahmanas, and all of them appear to have had their hearts melted by seeing you. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So these the two I just read, is my experience with Maharaj coming to my home and allowing me to see him and hear the Lord through Maharaj. And so these are my, well, so far, my experiences. And he melted my heart. He melted my heart. It was so hard. It was, I hear everyone chanting the holy name of Krishna. Everyone's body is thrilled with ecstasy. Everyone's body is thrilled with ecstasy. And there are tears in everyone's eyes. I hear everyone chanting the holy name of Krishna. And there are tears in everywhere. Everyone's body is thrilled with ecstasy. And there are tears in everyone's eyes. My dear sir, according to your behavior and bodily features, you are the supreme personality of God. It is impossible for ordinary living beings to possess such transcendental qualities. My dear sir, according to your behavior and bodily features, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. It is impossible for ordinary living beings to possess such transcendental qualities. I'm going to read this purport. By His grace, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's bodily features were uncommon. Indeed, his body was extraordinary in its measurements. The measurements of his chest and the measurements of his forearms were the same length. This is called Nai Groda Paramandala. As far as his nature is concerned, he was kind to everyone, but no one but the Supreme Personality can be kind to. I've been trying to be kind to everyone in mode of goodness. It doesn't work. trying to be kind to everyone. Are you trying to be God, Gimuna? Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead can do that. No one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be kind to everyone. Therefore, the Lord's name is Krishna. Therefore, the Lord's name is Krishna, all attractive. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 4, Krishna is kind to everyone in every species of life. Sarva Yon Ishu. He is the original father, the seed giver. How then can he be unkind to any living entity? One may be a man, an animal, or even a tree, but the Lord is kind to everyone. That is God's qualification. He also says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 29. Samoham Sarava Bhutisu. The Lord is equally kind to everyone. And he advises Sarva Daman Prayajaya Pratyajaya Mam Ikam Saranam Vraj. This instruction is meant not only for Arjuna, but for all living entities. Whoever takes advantage of this offer is immediately immune to all sinful activities and returns home. And return. Whoever takes advantage of this offer is immediately immune to all sinful activities and returns home back to God. While present on this planet, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu made the same offer. And it's all true, because I've experienced it gradually though. The Lord replied to Ramananda, right? Sir, you are the best of the topmost devotees. Therefore, simply the sight of you has melted everyone's heart. The Lord replied to Ramananda, right? Sir, you are the best of the topmost devotees. Therefore, simply the sight of you has melted my heart. I'm going to read the purport again, not very long at all. Unless one is a first-class devotee, he cannot be a preacher. A preacher is generally a topmost devotee. order to meet the general populace, he has to come to distinguish between devotees and non-devotees. Otherwise, an advanced devotee makes no such distinction. Indeed, he always sees that everybody is engaged in the service of the Lord. When one engages in preaching work, he must distinguish between people and understand that some people are not engaged in devotional service of the Lord. The preacher then has to take compassion upon such innocent people who do not know how to worship the Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse 45, the symptoms of a topmost devotee are described as follows. The advanced devotee sees that all living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone is in Krishna, and Krishna is also within everyone. Such a vision is possible only for a person who is very advanced in devotional service. Although I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee, I am also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you. And what to speak of others? Although I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee, I am also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you. And what to speak of others? Krishna. Knowing this, in order to rectify my heart, which is very hard, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked me to meet you. Knowing this, in order to rectify my heart, which is very hard, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked me to meet you. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of the other, and both of them were pleased to see. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of each other, and both of them were pleased to see each other. Hare Krishna. At this time, at this time, a Brahmin Vaishnava, following the Vedic principles, came and offered obeisances. He fell flat before Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him invited him for lunch. At this time, a Brahmana Vaishnava, following the Vedic principles, came and offered obeisances. He fell flat before Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him for lunch. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the Brahmana's invitation, knowing him to be a devotee, and slightly smiling, we were talking about that yesterday, spoke as follows to Ramananda Rai. I'm going to read this report. This one's very short. Krishna, Krishna. Oh, wow. By His grace, Prabhupada, Srila. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation of the Vaishnava Brahmana, even though one is a Brahmana, strictly following all rules and regulations of Brahminical culture. If he is not a devotee, a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one should not accept his invitation. At the present moment, people have become so degraded that they do not even follow the Vedic principles. To say nothing of Vaishnava principles, they eat anything and everything, whatever they like, and therefore the members of this Krishna consciousness movement should be very cautious about accepting invitations. Krishna Krishna. Well, for us, I think it's really important because of people are degraded and we don't want to associate with those kind of people. It doesn't matter. I don't think for the Lord.
Can I say something there? This is Prabhupada's preaching to those who are not awakened generally. When you're awakened, it's like a fire in you. When you have love of Krishna, it burns away all kinds of stuff. Not that you make a habit of doing bad things or even eating bad things or anything,
No.
but still, devotees can go anywhere to preach and to share. They're not restricted and they don't have to have any fear. That's a Vaidhi thing. Vaidhi, see, on the level of Vaidhi Bhakti, you don't have the power to just eat anything or do anything. You'll get contaminated. And how do you get purified? Okay, very hard. But devotees, they have bhakti, pure bhakti. And that pure bhakti is more powerful than anything. And so even if, you go and eat here or you associate with different people, Krishna cleanses us with his ecstatic devotion. So it's more, you got to understand the difference. Otherwise, it's just a fact. This is the way it is. Yeah. That's why Ramananda Roy said later that a devotee doesn't care when Lord in the heart awakens, he doesn't care about any rules and regulations. I mean, he doesn't it's like, hey man, I got God here. This is my path, is the Lord himself. Loving God is my path, So it's a different level. And that's why it's spontaneous devotional service is the preferred way to worship God, because it's so powerful. It's more purifying than anything. No, millions of rules cannot purify a person like just one awakening of God's transcendental presence in our heart. It burns away volumes. Like Ajamil, he just chanted one name of Krishna, and in Namabas, not even with ecstasy. And it said it burned millions of lifetimes worth of karma. Can you imagine the devotees who are chanting with prema and like you're reading like this with all this ecstasy awakening, what it's doing? Yeah.
Learning.
So very powerful. So people need to learn this. This is why, hey man, why wouldn't you want this kind of advantage in this world where the Lord himself cleanses you with this transcendental ecstatic devotion? Much preferred. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. A moment. Okay, I'm gonna just put it on. Then you can't hear me. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. Indeed, My mind is inclined to desire this. Therefore, I wish to see you again. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. Krishna. Yeah. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. Indeed, my mind is inclined to desire this. Therefore, I wish to see you again.
See, this is, can I say something? Over and over again, Lord Caitanya showed by example. He said, I want to hear from you about Lord Krishna, because even though you're a Sudra class, still you have relationship and love for Krishna. Therefore, I'm coming to you. So he's always teaching that. So whether a person is a Sudra or a Brahmin or a sannyasi, if they have love for Krishna, like Ramananda Roy did, spontaneous devotion, they're the ones we need to hear from. You know? And the Lord said the same thing to this aristocratic Brahmin who came and said, will you tell me about Krishna? And Lord Chaitanya, no. He says, I go to Ramananda Roy to hear about Krishna. See, so he showed the example. Go to the intimate, ecstatic devotees to hear about Krishna. And then now you're going to be properly directed. Otherwise not. Okay. Boop.
Ramananda Rai replied, my lord, although you have come to correct me, a fallen soul, my mind is not yet purified. Simply by seeing you, please stay for 5 or 7 days and kindly cleanse my polluted mind. And after that much time, my mind will certainly be pure. Ramananda Rai replied, my lord, although you have come to correct me, a fallen soul, my mind is not yet purified. Simply by seeing you, please stay for 5 or 7 days and kindly cleanse my polluted mind. After that much time, my mind will certainly be pure. Although neither could tolerate the other's separation, Ramananda nonetheless offered his obeisances to Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and departed. Although neither could tolerate the other's separation, Ramananda Rai nonetheless offered his obeisances to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of the Brahmana who had invited him and took his lunch there. When the evening of that day arrived, both Ramananda Rai and the Lord were eager to meet each other again. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of the Brahmana who had invited him and took his lunch there. When the evening of that day had arrived, both Ramananda Rai and the Lord were eager to meet each other again.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really an important thing, is this eagerness. And this comes by association. So Ramananda Roy, they're exchanging, and it creates this attraction and eagerness. And when you start to get that way with chanting the holy name, also this eagerness to meet Krishna, yeah, this is transcendental. And this doesn't just happen. It's usually very hard to get that eagerness, that attraction to Krishna, because it's transcendental. But in association devotees, by hearing like this eagerness grows very fast. And then just like now, we're very eager to come to sadhu sangha, and because we feel this attraction growing in us. It's amazing. And that's the path, man. That's a path of prema, path of spontaneous social service, raganuga bhakti. Raga. See, raga is this attraction, this raga or rasa. See, we want this taste. See, so only in association, and I mean only in association of ecstatic devotees, does this awaken and what do you call develop. Now we may feel some awakenings in the Vaidhi sector just simply because of our past and being with Krishna, but it's not encouraged there. That's why you see when they see you, doing something outside of some stereotyped way of being a devotee. They don't like it. They don't like the creativity that one gets in doing spontaneous devotional service. They don't like a person being themselves or being, it's like you got to, it's just material level. So this is the way to transcend it. Okay.
Ramananda Rai approached Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Chaitanya, and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. Ramananda Rai approached Lord Sri Chaitanya and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Rai to recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. Ramananda replied that if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Rai to recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. Ramananda replied that if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Very long. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu.
This is what Prabhupada was preaching, basically. When one follows your Varna and Ashram and executes Vaidhi Bhakti, one awakens his original Krishna consciousness. So a lot of people think, oh, that's all I have to do. And then I awaken my original Krishna consciousness. Didn't say how long it takes that way. Doesn't talk about the progressive path of it, does it? But everybody just thinks, oh, well, that's what he said. That's what it is. We don't have to do anything else. And so now I'm going to tell all those people, listen to the next verse.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the four Varnas and Ashrams.
Next verse.
The Lord replied, "This is external. You had better tell me of some other means." Ramananda replied.
Okay, you see how that works? Krishna is contradictory. He's a paradox. He says one thing and then can contradict it. So he says there's no other way. So this is Prabhupada. No other way. But yet the Lord says, tell me some other way. He contradicts it because there's no other way to you if you're not qualified and you're not ready. And that's why Prabhupada people are not qualified or ready to hear this deeper message. Because this is postgraduate. He said postgraduate message. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, okay, yeah, that's right. But hey, that's external bhakti. Tell me some of the more. So when the devotees get ready for that, it's like, okay, I want more of Krishna. I want more than just external bhakti. Because see, that's external bhakti. See? You got to see, hey man, it's a little too external for me. I want some, see, but how are they going to know that too? They usually have to see it. You have to see devotees who got that more thing, you know? So Lord Ramananda Roy was that more. He had more. And Lord Chaitanya wanted to draw that out. See, so devotees ultimately need to be progressive to progress. It's not just there. Varnashram Dharma is still on a material level of goodness. That ain't good enough. It's got to be pure goodness. You know, ecstatic, intimate worship of the Lord is where it's going. So the Lord is drawing. He said, no, that's external. How many devotees in ISKCON or anywhere understand that as external bhakti? A lot of them don't. They think this is the highest thing and this is it and all that. They, you know, so no, there has to be, even amongst this, for progressive Vaishnavas or anybody, the next stage. What is that? And so the Lord's going to go to where we're preaching. He's got to go a few more stages, actually. So go ahead, check it out.
The Lord replied, "This is external. You had better tell me of some other means." Ramananda replied, "To offer the results of one's activities to Krishna is the essence of all perfection." Ramananda Rai continued, "My dear son of Kunti, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, and whatever austerities you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to me, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Krishna, Krishna.
Keep going.
Rama, Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. This is also external. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Please proceed and speak further on this matter."
See how many people in Vaishnavism are still being taught that, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, whatever you do, you offer to Krishna, offer to Krishna, offer to Krishna. See, it's external. You're still a little, there's more reverence and a little lax intimacy. And the Lord says, you want more than just this, whatever you do. You see how devotees are in these realms still. And the Lord's trying to draw them even deeper. See, this is still this. You don't hear me saying all that stuff, right? You don't hear me preaching about Vaidya. You don't hear me say whatever you do, offer it to Krishna and all that, right? No. We're even two more steps or so deeper than that. Keep going.
"Please proceed and speak further on this matter." Ramananda Rai replied, "To give up one's occupational duties in the Varnashram is the essence of perfection." I'm going to read this quote, very small. "A Brahmana may renounce his family and accept sannyas. Others also, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, may also give up their families and take to Krishna consciousness. Such renunciation is called karma tadga. By such renunciation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied. But this renouncing of one's activities to Krishna is not uncontaminated and is therefore on the material platform."
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Such activities are considered within the material universe because, according to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they refer to the material universe and therefore external.
Yeah, you see, that's still in the mode of goodness. It's not good enough. You have to get to the transcendental plane. Okay, that's why you see Lord Chaitanya wants to draw everybody closer, deeper. Okay, so go to the next verse.
Ramananda Rai continued, occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, he can fully understand their qualities and faults, and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man.
Okay, see, that's sannyas. You give them up completely, and you offer service. I just want to hear and chant and see, but it's still Vaidhi, still sannyas. Okay, still within the material universe. Now let's see what Lord Chaitanya says.
As stated in the scripture Bhagavad Gita 18:66, after giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I will give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry.
Keep going.
After hearing Ramananda Rai speak in this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again rejected his statement and said, "Go ahead and say something more, Ramananda Rai." Go ahead and say something more. Ramananda Rai then replied, "Devotional service mixed with empiric, is that right? Knowledge is the essence of perfection."
Yeah, there's still speculation in that. The empiric is, I think. Let me look at the word empiric. I looked it up before, but I forgot. Empiric. Based on. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Gives up empiric means verified by experiences, but there are experiences in the world still. See, this spiritual realm is transcendental to the empiricism of this world. People like base their understanding on logic and experiences in the world, but it's not purified. You have to go deeper, and so the Lord will make that more clear. Go ahead. Next turn.
Ramananda Rai continued, according to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Yeah. That's one level of it. It's pure because it's not of the material world, but still there's still speculation. You don't really know. You attain the level of Brahman, and that's considered self-realization. But there's still speculation there. You'll see the Lord's going to comment. Ramananda's Roy is going to comment on that, and this is where where we're preaching from is a step above that. So you're going to see this is about where now we're coming to where our preaching is beginning. Go to the next verse.
After hearing this, the Lord, as usual, rejected it, considering it to be external devotional service. He again asked Ramananda Rai to speak further.
He considered it external because it lacked conclusiveness. It's still naturally, you're at the level of Brahman in the light, and you perceive the Lord's transcendental rays, but it lacks conclusiveness of understanding the form of the Lord, the transcendental name, personality, qualities. It's just this homogeneous Brahman, and you're liberated, and he's considered like a level of devotional service because it is pure, his effulgence, but it still lacks conclusiveness and experience of the transcendental form. Okay, go ahead.
Ramananda Rai continued. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric, philosophical truths should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name. Form, pastimes, and qualities.
Yeah.
They should completely follow the principles of devotional service."
Actually, just so you know, that's not in the word for word at all. That was Prabhupada put that in. See? And that's that. In other words, you may follow all of that or may not. You still get the same result because it's not in the verse. It's not in the word for word. That's where you got to sometimes, because when I came across this, and this is what you get from Krishna, is there you'll see, wait a second here. This doesn't jive, and then you look in the word for word and you see Prabhupada added that. So go ahead, read the whole thing and then read the word for word, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Again.
This is very important because you got to, if you want to go deep in the scripture, you have to see certain things. Go ahead.
Ramananda Rai continued. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophical truth should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. They should completely follow the principles of devotional service and remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and animal slaughter."
See, now he's mixing, Prabhupada is mixing two paths. And this is why if you the thing is, when you hear from a self-realized devotee, automatically these things will take result. But if you try to put them together and say, well, I'll listen, and then I'm going to struggle to follow these principles, the Vaidhi level, then you're going to find you're going to be twerked, because it's not that you don't follow, you just be yourself. All you have to do is, like Ramananda Roy says, you can just stay in your ashram. You can stay as you are and be natural, but come and hear from the devotee. Okay? So now read the word for word, and I'll show you how that works out.
Okay. Gyan, in gaining knowledge, ra asam, unnecessary endeavor. Ud pasya, setting far aside. Namataha, completely surrendering. Eva, certainly.
See, completely surrendering to hearing from the devotee. That is the main thing. And you throw away your speculation. See, that's even in Brahman, they naturally speculate. And if they think they know more than a devotee who is understanding the deeper level of the actual personality of Godhead's form, transcendental form, see, then they can't do it. But if they can start to release that, and just by hearing from a devotee, okay? Go ahead. What's the other word for word stuff?
Sorry, Guru Maharaj, I just lost it. So I'm just getting back.
See, that's where it says, when Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. This is how you surrender appropriately. You listen to the devotee who is self-realized. See, that's surrendering to Krishna because he comes as the form of that guru to deliver you. See that otherwise, if you don't do that, you don't know how to surrender to Krishna. See, you got to learn that, and by listening to the self-realized soul to learn that secret. Because actually, Arjuna did that practically. Krishna was his guru. He was a living person. See, and that's what Krishna meant. Well, listen to me, because even though he was God, he's still acting like a spiritual master, and completely surrendering to Krishna is you surrender to his representative's word and their ecstasy, and their teaching. And that's now that's why Krishna, oh yeah, you got it. That's it. That's how you surrender to me. See? So you need to know that. And otherwise people think I'll surrender to Krishna directly. Go ahead there, Lalita.
Yeah, I wonder, did Prabhupada do that really to propagate only Vaidhi? It's like this verse, Bhagavad Gita 10:10, where this word has been of ecstatic love has been used as
Not ecstatic love. He said love to those who worship.
He said love instead of ecstatic love.
Yeah. It's for both, because a lot of people don't know what is ecstatic love. They weren't at the time. So it's really good to those who worship me with love. And so they're offering, right? Like this level, they're offering with love. Do they really have ecstatic love? No. They're following. They're trying. They're superimposing, alloy their love as love for God. See, love for God is a spontaneous gift of the Lord. That I had to learn. I had to learn the difference myself. That's all the mercy of the Lord. He gives us everything. He gives us the love to be able to worship him. Otherwise, we don't have it on our own. It's his love, man. And that's its nature. It's not this thing that we our speculations on what love is and our material feelings of love. Okay, that's a good place to start. That's why you see in the word for word is loving ecstasy. That's transcendental. Yeah. And so the main thing is, now, a way that verse could work, it's just like, who is it? Shamagori says, now I'm inspired to also follow the rules and regulations. See, some people can do that. Some people want to do that. Some people are inspired, like Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. A lot of them tried to follow external bhakti and at the same time internal. You can do it with God, anything. There, we hear people doing that, but not everybody has to. It's the choice and the inspiration of the devotee. So Prabhupada is a Brahmin, and he was following more or less the principles, as well as being in ecstasy, because if you're going to teach Vaidhi, you have to follow it somewhat, to really. And so he did. And so you can more or less do it, but not everybody's inspired. And you know what? He held back more of the ecstatic devotion and emphasized Vaidhi. Well, do we want to do that now, or do we want to emphasize ecstatic devotion and let the Vaidhi diminish? See, so
the Lord has new revelations now. Therefore, you're here. Yeah. It's because of the Lord's revelation. Otherwise, this would not happen.
No, it wouldn't happen. Matter of fact, that might have been why the Goswamis were very secretive. Also, they only showed a lot of this stuff amongst their intimate associates. It could be why this thing didn't get widely spread like it did with Lord Caitanya. So it just depends. Otherwise, nobody knows. What is ecstatic love? Is it important? What is its value? Who the heck's going to teach it? That's why Prabhupada said he was when he appeared in my lucid dream, and I was just started to do this, and people were becoming ecstatic. He said, "My God," he was beaming with bliss and happiness. My God, he was like, "Wow, man, you're doing exactly." I mean, it was exuberant bliss. You are doing exactly what I want you to do. This has my approval. Do more of this. See, and now I see why. I'm looking at the fruits of this. People are getting liberated. Prabhupada said, if I can just liberate one person, my life is successful. Look how many of you guys are getting liberated. You know, that's why I was so happy. Yeah, man, do it now. You know, yeah. And he knew that I would get all this flack over the years. He knew all these gurus would go against it too. Oh, they're all jealous and all that stuff, and speculating and all these things, and misunderstanding and motivated, and you know, hey man, but it's working because we got the disciplic line behind us. Look at this, amazing family growing. You know, it's tight. Yeah, look at River's ecstatic worship. Isn't it beautiful? She's so happy, and just naturally people are coming now. You know, 19 people. Why? Because the bhakti is attractive, right? It's a bhakti thing, you know. And you know, this is where ye shall do greater things than I, you know. And it's the beauty. It's all progressive, you know. Just like Prabhupada said the same thing. He said, my Gurudev spread Krishna consciousness all over India, and I spread it all over the world. See, because of his mercy. See? That's how it is. And because of Prabhupada's blessing and mercy in the Parampara and Lord Caitanya Krishna, not only are we spreading all over the world, Vaidhi, spontaneous devotion. You'll see so many people will start to get this. Where else are they going to go? If you're a devotee of Krishna, where else are you going to go but spontaneous love? Yeah. This will become, we're teaching many levels and how attractive it is. And people will just naturally come because it's stronger than anything. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Jivanti. I'm still going through the word for
Yeah. Go ahead. Jivanti. I don't know. Go ahead. Word for word. Yeah.
Live.
Finish.
Means live. Sat. Mukhar. Hartam. Declared by God, realized devotees. Do you want to say this?
No.
Just go ahead.
Bhagavadya. Vartam. Discussions about you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Stahain, Stitha, situated in their own position. Shruti Gatam, relieved orally. So
Yeah, you see, situated.
Received orally.
Did you hear that? Situated in their own position. In other words, don't, you know, what is this? Just stay in your position, whatever that is, be natural, but hear from the devotee. That really knows Krishna. That's the better path. Otherwise, because I have experience. I've been here teaching like this, and I see when the devotees have this Vaidhi thing in their mind, they feel, oh, I can't do it. You know, I got all these things. I can't follow. I can't control my sex life. I can't. Yeah. And then it becomes a disturbance. Hey, man, just be natural. That's an obstacle I found. Many of the devotees, they have that in them. I got to do, because it says in the Vaidhi, Prabhupada said, the book says you got to be a sannyasi and all. No, just be relaxed. Stay in your position. What is your position? What is your nature? What good does repression do? Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita. See? Come in here, though, and be natural, cool down. You got some problems with excess this. Well, we'll talk about it. And just hear from the devotees. And all this stuff will be purified just by the hearing process. You'll become naturally renounced. And naturally, you'll want to stay away from mundane persons intimately. I mean, you can associate with anybody, but you don't want to be intimate with people that don't, purify their consciousness. What is the point?
Yeah, it goes naturally. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you get all this, Krishna's intimacy, and you find it becomes an obstacle when you're too intimate with mundane persons, because then you got to chant it off, and I've had this. I had sometimes people come in with all this contaminations, and they don't really want to get purified. They want to use, it's just like they worm their way in, and they want to take over. I've had this one guy, he just died. He was a real lech, man. They have a kind of a crafty intelligence. They can tell where the juice is. you know, and kind of got in there and he wanted to take over. Just like Prabhupada said, these guys are contaminating, they want to take over. And in his association, I was getting all like hyped up and I couldn't connect for a long, it took me hours. And I realized, oh, this is this guy. And I got rid of him. I said, hey, listen, you have other motives. And I said, this is not for here. It's disturbing my bhajan. Yeah. Go ahead.
Shruti, Gatam, received orally, Tanu Vak, man.
See how important it is to receive orally?
Yeah, very important.
Very important. Receive orally. That's where the purification is. See, because when Krishna awakens, now you get purified of these things. And just even by hearing, it's purifying. You're getting like attracted, and then it develops into more devotion. See, the awakenings. Yeah, and that's what purifies you. Go on here. Jesus said, go on hearing and you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free. The truth is part of it is knowing through understanding and through hearing and also from that awakening. Very important because then Krishna cleans from the inside. Very powerful. Yeah. Okay, keep going there.
So it's Tanu Vak Bak Manu Baha, by the body, words, and mind. Ye, those who Prayasa, almost always, Ajita, O my unconquerable Lord, beyond perception and unlimitedly independent. Jita, conquered. Api, indeed, Asi, you are. Ta, Hai, by such pure devotees. Tri Lokyam, Yam, within the three worlds.
So there you go. If you look at the verse and you compare them word for word, none of that last part is in there. None. Zero. See? And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to look at the verses because there was something that wasn't jiving. They're two different paths. That's why Ramananda Roy, you can stay. But you can do it. I mean, still, it's not like it's not right. You can do that. But I'm finding in this preaching that actually works against it on this level because I'm not preaching Vaidhi. It's okay preaching Vaidhi. But on this path, it's better people just be natural, and normal in their position and just hear. And everything comes naturally. Then you're not glorying in, well, I followed this principle and I've been celibate, I've been this, and this pride develops. Superiority, I've studied, I've done all these things, Let Krishna do it. Yeah, he does it. You just by following the real process, hearing, stay in your position. Don't have to be artificial. Yeah, that's it.
It humbles you. It humbles you to stop this Vaidhi thing.
It humbles you. That's right. Because the Vaidhi gives you an idea that by your strength, you're going to attain Krishna. But you're always 2 fingers too short. Never can quite round. But here you start grabbing Krishna even as you are. You start to understand what the Christians understood. God is meeting me as I am, as I am, what I am. He's coming anyway and relating to me and helping me in spite of my not being qualified, simply because I'm going in the door the right way. This is what you learn here. Man, you go in just in the right way and everything, Krishna meets you as you are. Oh, you got all this conditioning, contamination. No problem. Just keep worshiping me and I'll take care of that. Yeah. Look how steady you guys are becoming. The conditioning is going so fast because all this ecstasy, Krishna's not leaving you. Okay? Yeah. Sometimes I even have to kind of, whoa, wait a second, man. I think I got to stay a little back here. But Krishna doesn't go. He's right in there, man. He's Superman. He's going to purifies everything, man. He's powerful. Different. See, big fire and small fire. Prabhupada said that. He said the guru is like a small fire, Krishna is like a big one.
Yeah. I had the verse where this verse that we were just reading, Prabhupada added all of those words that are not in the word for word, like you just said. Did he just add them for the Vaidhi? So that
No,
they could
no. See, a lot. It comes down to the way the Gaudiya Vaishnavas have been preaching, because they come from this Brahminical background, and they have this idea that the way you must preach, but it's not a musting.
Yeah.
You must preach by you follow the Vaidhi level rules and regulations, and at the same time you do Raganuga spontaneous devotion internally and don't show it. See, that's why there's no love of God being shown, that being developed. See, if Lord Caitanya adhered to that principle and his followers adhered to it, there would have been no love of God back then. And now the reason why there's love of God here, it seems like I'm going against that principle of, oh yeah, you do all the rules, regulations, and then you only worship God in ecstasy within. But then there's no love of God preached. That's why Prabhupada encouraged me. I was doing it externally, and he said, yeah, man, this has my approval. You're doing more. And now he's a Brahmin. He's strict and all that. As a Brahmin and as a liberated soul. But he was encouraging me. He knows I'm not interested. I was never interested in following strictly rules. I was never attracted to that. But he still said, hey, this has my approval. You're doing exactly what I want you to do, more of that, because you see the result. So it's working. The bottom line is, Prabhupada was into this. Whatever result gets the result of Krishna consciousness, deepening, that's good. That's right. See? So this works. It works, man. So people can say, oh, well, he's not following everything and teaching his followers to follow everything. But anyway, this works. Or he's not holding it back and holding it inside like you're supposed to. See? Anyway, proof is in the pudding. So I had to step out. I had to step out and say, hey, man, let's do it. Let's, regardless of people thinking this and this and this, let's see the result. If the result was bad, see, if what I was doing was causing people, to fall down and be miserable, repressed, like stuff like then obviously there's something not right or not progressive. So this is working. So hey, man. And as you see, in the word for word, it's not in there. So this was added. Yeah. So now, again, in this preaching, somebody like Shama Gori, she might be inspired to follow the rules and regulations and also preach this way with ecstatic devotion. But maybe I don't know, it just depends on how this word inspires you guys. Krishna will observe ourselves how it develops. Yeah.
Was you going to say something, Lalita?
She can still change, because for me, in the beginning that I was ecstatic, I was still offering food for the deities, dancing with my back towards you, dancing for the deities,
Yeah. You might change. Yeah.
Because you have this switch is not immediately done.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So that's why I say we'll see how things develop. It's all, we got the water. We're watering bhakti. We got bhakti a lot of bees and we're watering it. Let Krishna take care of the rest. He does the result, right? Yeah. That's why this is attractive. Krishna is going to make the result. Well, let's see what he does. I love it, man. Just keep watering the bhakti and see what that manifests. What freedom, huh? Free.
I think she will change, Maharaj.
Huh?
Because I think Shama Gori will change. Because just watching you when I first met you in Mayapur, just watching you cooking, making your juices, talking and having fun. I stopped offering food by just watching you. Something's happened in me, and I kept watching, and I just stopped offering food, and I was lovely. I was watching you. That's all that I needed.
Yeah. Lalita Madhava, we together we had 13 deities.
13.
He gave all of them
It's a
away.
lot of work.
He gave all of them away.
Really? Yeah.
Well, he kept one, this big Shama Sundar who
Yeah.
gave me my first ecstasy. That one was with me, and then he didn't want me to take it to Turkey. So I said, okay, then he said, then you got this one back. And then he kept those two dolls that I made myself. He kept them also, but all the others are with Francis. Even my little Damodar is with Francis. Oh,
Good. Yeah, yeah.
all those boxes of clothes, it's all finished. All those jewels, it's all finished.
Yeah. Now, see, this is the thing. This, whatever inspiration at that point, because you really, so people need to know that, because some people think this is offensive, you're doing all these things. But you just got to know the deeper principle. When you become attracted to Krishna, then it's between you and Krishna, how you want to worship him and what inspires you. Because deity worship can be simply like Haridas, Hare Krishna, and ecstatic love awakens. Deity worship can be actually an ecstatic love awakens with the actual deity there. It depends, hey man, it's between you and Krishna now. You come here, follow the principle of hearing from a self-realized soul. And then spontaneously, Krishna awakens in your heart. Now you're in the rasa dance. And by your watering bhakti and everything, Krishna gives you all these really wonderful, perfect, really, oh yeah, do it, let's do it like this and everything. And then you feel good. Nobody can say, oh, this is the wrong way and all this. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy worshiping Krishna the way I do it. Yeah. So, and somebody might be doing this way or with the deity or without the deity, or with the, it's always with the deity as the vigraha, with the deity as the name, with the deity as the Bhagavan. There was a guy in Saints of Raj, a great story, and his way was reading Srimad Bhagavatam all the time. That was his way. He didn't necessarily chant, but he may have, but his main way, priority was chanting Bhagavatam verse. He'd go out and chant it to the trees. See? And then he would worship the Bhagavatam. He was inspired. He put the Bhagavatam on the altar in a swing. He would swing the Bhagavatam back and forth. This was his Krishna, I mean, I love how these saints are very spontaneous, because, it's between them and Krishna, and they may do seemingly strange things. It's not, it's a deity, man. This is Krishna teaching us, hey, man, I'm in that book. I am that book. As much as I am the Vigraha, as much as I am the name. Haridas never did deity worship per se, other than Hare Krishna worship. See? And then Lord Caitanya comes to him and says, oh, I want you to teach on deity worship. To prove this point. And he spoke perfectly about deity worship. Yeah. Because this is the way of Raganuga spontaneous devotional service. These little intricacies are revealed to the devotees. Prabhupada talked about it too. He's mentioned it. Okay. I'm thinking maybe, what time is it now? Is it 6:30?
4:30.
Yeah. 4:30 afternoon?
1:20.
1:20 in the afternoon there. It's 6:23 a.m. here. Boy, we're all over the time zones, huh?
Yeah. Right.
It's amazing, huh? Yeah. I love this little program. I just go to bed. Sometimes I get up at 12, and sometimes 2 or 3,
And then you give a pillow talk.
Yeah.
I like your short classes that you do.
The short classes? Which ones?
Yeah, where the ones that if you go for a walk, you've done a few about Jesus, verses from the Bible.
Yeah.
I like those talks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like doing them. Yeah, I was mainly making them for that this place here, but not mainly. Mainly because I like doing it too. Because I like to, I like to talk about Jesus's truths. They're so beautiful, and or the prophets' wisdom. There's more than that. It's transcendental. It needs actually clarity. They need some little purport on these things, so it helps. Okay, Eric says the way I found out about ecstatic love was through contemplative Christian mystics, and I didn't even know Hare Krishna movement was able to get you there. You sound more like a Christian mystic than a Hare Krishna Vaishnava who is in the ashram. See, okay, that's a good point. I'm glad he mentioned that. See, more like not. Yeah. Well, go ahead. What do you want to say? Go ahead.
I had the same feeling. Well, I loved the mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, the thing he's saying, mystic more than a Hare Krishna Vaishnava who is in the ashram. See, because that's the Vaidhi level. See, Guru is one. The truth is one. See, the Christian mystic and the Vaishnava mystic are the same. See, same. Christian mystic speaks esoteric truths. A Vaishnava mystic speaks esoteric truths about the God. See, not the ashram, but that's the Vaidhi. That's see, it's different. This Vaidhi thing than what I'm preaching. I'm preaching the truth, which is applicable in Christian mysticism or esoteric Christianity or esoteric Vaishnavism. The same truth. The only difference might be maybe its depth, like of teaching, because Lord Caitanya taught deeper things about the kingdom. He fluffed it out more. Now I know and I hear it and feel it. Yeah, exactly. So we're not like the ashram. What's in the ashram is not esoteric usually. It's just more rules, regulation. This is not what we're doing. We're doing esoteric, and that's why I can use the Bible. I look at the verses in the Bible and I'll give you the, first Krishna gives me the understanding and then I give it to you. That's the disciplic line. And then you become awakened and then you can do the same thing for others. But a lot of people try to skip that step. See, this is the foolishness. They skip the step. They think, no, let me just go directly there and give me the Bhagavatam, and then it gets contaminated because they preach you speculation. No, they need to hear also. Get purified. And then when they're like, they got the spirit of devotion, reveals the Father, and the Father reveals things to you, and then you reveal that to the world. This has always been like that. Even in Bhagavatam, it teaches about Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma had this relationship, or has this relationship with Krishna. See, we heard about this. That's how he can create. So the demigods, even whose relationship isn't so deep, they would go to him and to put their petitions before God, and they would. And then Brahma would pray on the ocean of milk there, and then he would make the connection, and his face would be bright and illuminated, and then he would give the answer to the demigods. See, but you guys are doing better than that. You're getting so purified that now God is giving you the answers. You can also go and, ask God stuff and, commune with the Lord and get your answers directly. Yeah. So it's a very powerful time we're living in. And I think I got to stop speaking. Let's, you guys do something if you want. You go and do your own programs now. Open up your kunjas.
Peter, no. People need to eat here.
Yeah. Actually, it's what I've been hiding little bites here and there. Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you for coming. Haribo.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, Ranga.
Bye, Ranga. Haribo there. Thank you for coming.
Come back soon.
Thanks, Ranga.
See you there, Ranga.
Bye, Lolita. Thanks, Guru Maharaj.